Namaste, Prakash here. Welcome to the next edition of Dharma Tales. Let's debate. Though there are so many verified and published sources on the stories of Mahabharata, what adds to the twists and turns and adds a lot of spice are the unverified tales which are woven around the fabric of what Mahabharata is. Today we're going to look at a very interesting story which has appeared in several versions of Mahabharata, as it's said. You may call it the last temptation of Karna. And the temptation is offered by none other than Lord Krishna himself. It is said that about a week prior to the beginning of the war, Krishna goes and meets Karna and takes him out in his chariot. And the entire conversation is said to have happened when Krishna and Karna spend the time together. Krishna asks Karna about his awareness about the birth and everything. In a surprising twist, which of course those who have read Mahabharata would know, Karna is very much aware of who he is, how he is born, how he was abandoned as a child because of the nature of the problem that Kunti faced when he was born. She was not at bed and she didn't have much of option. And then Lord Krishna gives him the temptation. And all this apparently is seen by Sanjaya and relayed to Dhritarashtra, part of the vision that is granted to him to be able to see the war and the pre-scenes pertaining to the war. Lord Krishna tells him, since you know that you are the son of Pandu, and it is an established dharmic practice in those days when Mahabharata happened, that even if a son is born prior to the wedlock of a lady, after her marriage, automatically that son still becomes the son of the person to whom the mother is married. In this case, Kunti was married to Pandu, and by default, according to the prevailing Shastras, Karna automatically becomes a Pandava. This is something as part of Dharma, Krishna explains. He says that tomorrow you shouldn't come and tell to the world that had you known all this, you might have changed your mind. And then he says, imagine that you side with Pandavas. You still have time for the war to begin. You move to this side, and Pandavas would be too happy to have you here. Pandavas, you know that are going to win this war even before it has begun. Yudhishthir would happily accept you as his elder brother and as the king. And Pandavas, once they win this war, they'll be ruling all the known portions of the earth. And you will be the undisputed king of this world. You will have Bhim, you will have Arjun, you have Nakul, you have Sahadev, and all the kings of the Pandavas who are on Pandava's side. Everyone supporting you. The history will speak about you as a person who understood and corrected your mistake. He goes on giving one after another so many inputs and insights on what would happen in case Karna switches side and moves to Pandavas. Karna beautifully responds once Lord Krishna has shared everything. Krishna, as a global Dharma, I am very clearly aware as to what you are saying. I am very sorry for whatever I have done to the Pandavas being on the side of Gaurava, specifically my dear friend Duryodhan. But please see it from my Sudharma, my Dharma as I see it in the context of whatever has happened. I was abandoned as a child when I was born. My mother forsake me, though she could have easily, after her marriage to Pandu, could have told him the truth and brought me back into the fold. She didn't. I was continuously slayed and insulted throughout my life. Even when I was born, my mother, rather the foster mother with whom I was brought up, though she didn't give birth to me, her love for me was so much that she was able to breastfeed me like a mother would which is not normally possible unless you are a biological mother. When I grew up, the entire world was making fun of me again and again. And then I happened to meet Duryodhan. There was no hidden agenda in his love and affection for me. He saw in me something which others did not see. He did not see the war which was going to come up. He did not do any manipulations. He did not do calculations that having Karna on my side would be of help. He just saw a person who is downtrodden. He saw the ability of a Kshatriya in me, and then he brought me up to his side. He has kept me by his side in spite of all the challenges which were thrown by all the seniors on the side, like Kripacharya, Dronacharya, Bhishma, who none of them really wanted to accept me. After all this, when at the time of war, just because now I found my biological roots, if I go back, I will be slipping from my duty as a person who wants to uphold Sudharma. For me, Swadharma, holding of my values is more important than what you would call as Dharma. From my side, I am very clear that the war will end in favor of Pandavas. I am very certain that I would get killed by Arjun. I am very certain that all the stalwarts who are on the side of Kauravas will get defeated because they are on the other side of Dharma. And it is being led by none other than Lord Krishna himself. What more can I ask for? I also know that you have a grand plan of cleansing the entire system. These people, unless they die in this war, may not be able to reach their heaven in their entire lifetime or even the subsequent lifetime. I do see in my own foresight into the future where what you have planned. And for my sake, in case if you are going to change many of these, it might happen that the war itself will not take place. Because if I move to the side of Pandavas, I'm very sure that Duryodhan will be crestfallen and he will automatically accept defeat and the war will not happen. In which case, actually, the purpose for which this war is being done by you will not even take place. Which also means my Swadharma, if I give up, for the sake of Dharma that you are projecting, it might so happen that the Dharmic equation that you want to install in this world by the killing of all the kings and the warriors of this clan will not happen. Hence, kindly accept my apologies that I will not be able to take what you are giving. Lord Krishna says, I have given you everything. I told you that even I'll be on your side. I am really amazed, I am really happy that you have taken a stand of standing by Sudharma. And then it so happens that whatever boon is granted to Karna, Karna also asks the same boon for all the people who will be killed in the battlefield. That everyone, irrespective on which side they are fighting and dying, that they should reach the doorsteps of heaven and be admitted there. And apparently, Lord Krishna gives that boon to Karna. And through that, it is said that all those who died on the battlefield of Mahabharata were able to reach the doorsteps of heaven. It's a great story, not necessarily a verified version of Mahabharata, but this story, as part of the urban legend, is carried in several texts of Mahabharata. In this story, whatever learning you find, how does Swadharma, when it conflicts with Dharma, how should it operate? Should it be independent of a large dharmic principle? Or should Swadharma be in alignment only with Dharma, which is the global value system? There are a lot of intrinsic questions, very intricate questions which need to be answered in the process. Think through the story. There are so much to learn. Many times in our own life, we seem to be on the wrong side, though we seem to be holding the right values. We believe in the values for which we stand for, though it doesn't align with the global values. In which case, how do we look at it? Is friendship thicker than blood? There are many, many questions which do come up in this story. Take to the comment section, share all your insights on what you pick up from this story. Dharma Tales, let's debate. Till we meet again, this is Prakash signing off.